Hello and welcome to another in our series of You Ask, We Answer, where we answer some common clinical questions that have been coming through to us here at Oscar. I'm Anita Morton, I'm the clinical support nurse for Oscar.
And I'm Valerie Daly, I'm an independent tissue viability nurse who works with Oscar.
So let's have a look at another of the questions that's come through to us. And this question is, what is immersion and envelopment? Well, immersion and envelopment really is about the ability for a patient to be able to sink into a surface. So that's immersion, when somebody sinks into the surface, and you can see that from one of the pictures there on the screen. And the reason we want someone to sink into the surface is so that we increase the surface area for pressure to be redistributed on, and we want to try and maximise the amount of body contact with the support surface in order to do that. And then along with immersion, we want the support surface to come up and around the patient and almost to cushion them essentially, and enable them to then, it enables the envelopment that comes up and envelops around them. And again, that really creates the maximum amount of surface area that we can create, and the maximum amount of body contact that we can create, so that we can really lower those interface pressures beneath the surface, beneath the patient. So if we've got just an example here. So in terms of immersion, if Valerie just pushes her hand into the cushion, you can see how the foam is, her hand is sinking into the foam, so it has the ability for her hand to immerse into the surface, but it's also coming up and around her hand to not only support it, but also maximise the surface area that we can get, so that we can really lower the interface pressures beneath the patient.
And Anita, I think it's really important to point out how different this is from home furnishing.
Yes.
Because I think, with home furnishing, we have foam that is just designed to be part of, what we sit on every day, but it doesn't have these properties of immersion and envelopment. And so when patients sit on, for example, home furnishing without any specific pressure relieving foam, then they get high pressures quite quickly through their seating bones. So when we talk about immersion and envelopment, it really is about reducing that high pressure, spreading it out much wider over all of the tissue in contact. So when a patient sinks into the foam, that wraps, as Anita said, wraps around them and makes sure that that pressure is much lower, which means that they can tolerate the surfaces for longer. So we hope that's helped to answer that question for you. And don't forget to join us for...
join us for another session of You Ask, We Answer.